Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Thursday, the 9th of October. With McShane, we read 1 Kings chapter 12 and Philippians chapter 3. And I'll link the two together. In Kings, Rehoboam, Solomon's son, starts his rule. The people come to him and say, "Your father put a heavy load on us in terms of taxation and labor, etc. Lighten the load." He goes and he consults the elders, the people that served his father. And they say to him, if you listen to them and do what they say, meet their request, they'll serve you for life. You'll establish your kingdom. And in verse 8, we're told, but Rehoboam rejected the advice the elders gave him and consulted the young men who'd grown up with him and were serving him. And they say to him, just put even greater pressure on the people. He follows their advice, and most of the kingdom rejects him as king. And as I read that, I thought, what happened thousands of years ago, and yet we see it playing out today as well. I look at the news, and from my perspective and where I'm sitting, I look at somebody like Donald Trump, and he's got advisors around him. If they don't say what he wants them to say, he kicks them out. If you don't agree with him, you're gone. And he surrounded himself with people who think like him, who act like him, who say the kind of things he says, exactly like Rehoboam did. And he's not getting advice. And in the Proverbs, it says, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. It's not plans fail for lack of support. You've got plenty of supporters. But if you haven't got wise counsel, if it's not a good plan, it's going to fail. And therefore, advisors are essential. And I know in leadership in the church, I really don't like it when people come and tell me things that don't agree with what I'm thinking and what I'm saying. But it's vital that they do. And I have to listen to them and consider what they're telling me and weigh it up and act upon it. Not all advice is necessarily good, but so much of it is. And I can't just have people say what I already think, because that's useless. That's not advice. That's just cheerleading. And so we need to hang on to advisors. The best advice we get is from Scripture. And that's why we read it and ponder it and work through it each day. And then in Philippians, Paul writes to them and he says the following, which also struck me. He says, further, my brothers and sisters, rejoice in the Lord. It is no trouble for me to write the same things to you again, and it is a safeguard for you. And Paul recognizes he's not writing something new. There's not something astounding. He's writing the same things. But he says those same things are a safeguard. And as we read through Scripture, we've read it before, there's nothing usually that's new and unheard of, and it's all part of what we've heard, and we go back to it again and again, because it is a safeguard. This Scripture is the best advice that we can ever get for our life, for our community, for our church, for our country. So I encourage you to keep reading, keep thinking, keep engaging with Scripture. Even though it might be the same as what you've read before, it's always worth reading because it is a safeguard for us. Be blessed.